back to more of the Tony Tone Show on Muscatine's Vintage Sound, 93.1.
Okay, friends. So without further ado, 9:33, Thursday. We've been talking about this event that's happening on Saturday for a while because it's important, in my opinion, to give some attention to when good things are happening in the Muscatine community and the surrounding communities. So Saturday, it's the second annual River City Throwdown for a good cause. And in studio, Sam Kester and Judy Yates. How are y'all? Welcome.
Hello.
Good to see you. Sam has not slept yet.
No.
He's here. And Judy, I'm assuming you probably slept and then maybe I don't know, did you have to work all night or?
No.
Okay.
I slept fine last night. Thank
Why
you.
do you guys rub it in?
I'm sorry, Sam. Second annual event, River City Throwdown, helps out the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter. There's a story on the front page of the paper. We've been promoting it for a while. I guess the conversation that I want to have is it's sort of an unlikely pairing, but not necessarily. So it's rock and roll for a long time for a good cause. So, Sam, I'm going to go to you first. You've played in bands for a while, heavyweight in particular, and we talk about this in the paper. But when you had the thought to do something, was it initially, I want to do something and I want it to help out an organization, or what?
When the idea came up was I just really wanted to do. Back in high school, I used to do shows like this, like just get as many bands as possible, get together, and just hang out with your friends for 12 hours.
Right.
And but even back then when we did it, it wasn't a benefit for anything.
Okay.
And so 20 years later, unfortunately 20 years later, then, you can become a little bit more self-conscious of what's going on in your surroundings and everything. When you become a parent, there's other things that you take into account.
Yep.
And when I decided to kind of do this again, bands want money.
Sure.
We don't need money.
Right.
There's people who need money. There's people who need support. There's people who need funds. And so then I just started brainstorming about where it should go. And I grew up in a house that, unfortunately, domestic violence was present.
Sure.
And so that kind of was in my head, and it's always been in my head. And so I have close friends who happen to work with the shelter, and just kind of escalated from there.
So, Judy, for you, I mean, you've been with the domestic violence shelter for a long time.
19 and a half years.
Holy moly.
Who's counting?
Right. But it's incredible.
It went by just like that.
Yeah. It's incredible. So when this conversation initially happens before the first event last year, are you excited? Because the story is the shelter, unfortunately, a couple of years ago lost some funding. So even though this event, when you first hear about it, you're like, oh, that's kind of, it's interesting. Was that your initial thought, or were you just excited that somebody wanted to do something a little bit different to help out?
A little of both.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were very excited. Like you said, a couple of years ago, we were looking at closing the doors, and the community rallied together. We're very fortunate to have people that care about the cause and want to see our shelter succeed and stay open. But when you have someone like Sam that feels very passionate about it, grew up in a household with it, understands the dynamics of it, and for him to take this project on and to organize it and then to do a second one and had more time to plan on it, it was a great time last year, and it really means a lot to myself, MCSA, the staff that work at the shelter, and it really means a lot to the women and children that we serve, because without events like this, we run the chance of our doors closing. So this really helps.
In a perfect world, the domestic violence shelter isn't necessary, but we don't live in a perfect world. And it is necessary. And things that you offer, like the crisis line, for instance, I think this is important. So if someone is listening and you're in a tough situation, or you know someone that is, there's a phone number that they can call 24/7.
Absolutely.
And it will always be picked up. So what is that number?
563-263-8080. It's answered 24 hours a day. Some people don't know if they are ready to leave yet. They just want to know what their options options are. They may be looking for some support, someone that's non-judgmental, other resources in the community. Our phone is answered 24 hours a day by trained advocates, staff, and volunteers, so they can call and just talk to someone, find out what works best for them.
And in most of the situations when someone finally leaves, and I know there's statistics where it will say that people will go back and forth or whatever, and I'm not downplaying it, but when a woman decides to leave, and if it's by themselves or with kids, they're literally walking out of a house or apartment, whatever, with the clothes on their back, and that's it. So when they come into the shelter, that's why it's important to keep it full of things that can be donated. So if we think about that, outside of the event on Saturday, River City Throwdown, $10. All proceeds will help the shelter. Are there supplies that you're consistently, that you could use if people wanted to donate things?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We try to provide all daily basic needs. We provide food. It may not always be what they want, but
Sure.
we have a freezer with meat in it. We supply food, clothing. A lot of them do only come with the clothes on their back. Shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, toothbrushes, diapers, wet wipes. If you think about what you go through in your house on a day, toilet paper, those are things that clients can't buy with their food stamps.
Sure.
Aluminum foil, baggies, laundry soap. We don't charge for them to do laundry. We provide all those things, and that has to come out of a budget somewhere.
Yeah.
So we go through those things with a house full of women and children, just like people do in their own household, and we're always looking for donations of those things, Kleenexes, paper towels, to keep our doors open and to be able to provide those needs.
So on Saturday, if someone can't stick around for the music, they could show up theoretically with bags of things to donate or cash if they wanted to just drop off money and go. That'd be fine too, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. Music, Sam. What time? It's a long time. So when is the first band going to start on Saturday?
I have the first band slated to start about 12:15.
Okay, 12:15 in the afternoon,
Yeah.
and then the last band is going to start at what time?
It'll be about 11:15.
Oh my gosh! And there's no break. I mean,
No, but basically the way I run, I got two stages inside the Pearl City Station.
Yes.
One on each side. As one band is playing, another band sets up. I have each set up. I have about a 5-minute downtime between bands for quick sound checks.
Jeez.
And then off we go.
How excited are these bands? Because they are giving their time, and there's a lot of them, and some of them are traveling from out of state. So is it a thing where you ask, or is it because of last year's event, was there any type of waiting list? Because you can only theoretically have so many bands based on the amount of time that you have the Pearl City Station.
Well, technically speaking, I could start the show at 9 a.m. if I wanted to.
Right.
But I don't want the city to hate me. And so I figured noon's a good time. Lunch hour's a good time.
Yeah.
But no, actually last year I had a great response from bands. I actually had a waiting list.
Wow.
So a lot of them I went back this year, and whoever had on the list I invited. One band in particular, there's a band called Avoid on the show.
Cool.
And to kind of go with your question about how excited they are, they contacted me and asking to play because of the cause.
Wow.
And because they have a lot of songs about domestic violence and depression and
Sure.
any other issues like that, and so they're very into the cause, and that's why they contacted me. But all these bands are doing it for that reason only. They're not doing it because hey, we get to play a show,
Sure.
or anything like that. And they're very into helping, and you can see that actually because all the bands will start posting up on Facebook, hey, we're playing the show Saturday.
Awesome.
And they don't leave it at, we're playing a show Saturday. We're like, we're playing a show Saturday. Come out and help the cause. This is what's going for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're all, I mean, I've been getting messages this whole entire week from every band. Super excited. I hope so.
Yeah, and it's fun for heavyweight and the guys that play with yourself because you have a new record that's out.
Yep.
And that's cool. So that I know that was probably a fun but challenging process, and to have it here.
Yeah, and between having to go record that, and then at that time I was still doing a lot of the booking, everything for the Throwdown too at the same time. So it was recording and then doing all the artwork and everything like that, getting all the stuff squared away, and then still trying to juggle this at the same exact time, and then work, and then be a father, and then all that stuff.
It's a balance. What time is heavyweight going to hit the stage on Saturday?
I think we're about 10 o'clock.
10 p.m.
Right. It's somewhere between 9 and 10.
Okay. So Saturday, October 8th, starting at
Noon. We'll say noon.
Yeah. For $10,
Yeah.
you could literally not leave the Pearl City Station until midnight.
Yep.
You can stick around as long as you want.
The T-shirts are amazing,
yes.
too. I've had people contact me that have seen pictures
Yeah.
of the design of the T-shirts that aren't able to come.
Sure.
Wanted to know how much they are. They want a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So
And they're going to be like printed on site, correct?
Yeah. In the past, this
That's
isn't.
cool.
Yeah, I've done benefit shows in the past that where we'd order 100 shirts and then we'd sell 50 of them.
Right.
And then now I have 50 shirts sitting in my basement.
Right.
Literally right now, I have 50 shirts sitting in my basement from another benefit show. But so my friend Andrew he's got a clothing label in Quad Cities, Nar City Clothing. He bought a mobile press.
That's cool.
So basically, he can do so basically, you'll come in, you'll go, I want a shirt. You'll 5-10 minutes to press it, and you got a shirt.
Wow.
So then if we sell 80 shirts, he only made 80 shirts.
Wow, that's great.
Yep.
And there's also a really cool Snapchat filter that Muscatine Tech guys put together, I believe.
Yes.
So this event is really, Judy, it's grown in just a year.
it has.
And I'm assuming that we would want to keep this going. I mean, it's a lot of work, I understand that. But for the cause that it supports, isn't it worth it?
Yeah. There's actually when I did it last year, it was kind of like, okay, we'll do this and see how it goes. And I've done shows in the past with like 5 bands on them that were a bigger pain than this. And actually, because when the show started last year, for the first couple hours, I'm running around making sure everybody's on the right stage and times like that. Halfway through it, I actually forgot it was my show.
Wow!
And I left to go get food, and I realized that. And I was like, I probably shouldn't have left. And then when I came back, but everybody was on the stage they're supposed to be on. The time was still going. So yeah, everything worked out great. And then this year again, I went to go book it. I had bands messaging me right off the bat to do it. So yeah, my plan is to do it. I just keep doing it. Same location until it gets to the point where it's so big that I got to move it somewhere else. But my goal, it'll always be in Muscatine.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month as well. So
Right.
the fact that we're doing it in October this year has special meaning as well.
So at the event, Judy, you'll be there. Karma will be there.
Yes.
Karma Truitt and her husband Steve, who are helping out with this event, and Karma works for the domestic violence shelter. Good people, friends of all of ours, obviously. So the cost is $10, but as I've been saying, if you want to make that cost $20 or $100 or $1,000, nobody's going to stop you.
No, I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah, by all means.
And then if you stop down and like I said earlier, if it's not your cup of tea,
sure,
and completely understandable if it's not.
Yeah.
If you want to just drop off, if you want to drop off $5, if you want to drop off $10, whatever you have, you're more than welcome to do that.
Or if you want to stick around for a rock show.
If you want to stick around for a rock show.
Yeah.
Beautiful day out Saturday.
Oh, the weather's going to be perfect. Sunny and 69, 70 degrees. You can't go wrong.
Last year, we did it in November last year.
Right.
And it was like 50, so it was okay. It was sweatshirt weather. It was fine. But the week after that was when the snowstorm hit.
Holy
so
moly.
I was like, I'm going to move it up.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to talk about is if you've noticed this on social media, there's people that are posting pictures of their pinky that is painted purple. That's a lot of P's, and I pop my P's when I say them, so I was trying to be careful. So, Judy, talk about that for a second, and then we're going to paint my pinky purple on the air.
I'm part of a group called Prevent Violence Coalition. It's a lot of community members, DHS, Family Resources, Child Protective Center, a lot of different social service agencies, New Horizons. And we meet every month, and we wanted to do something for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, as well as recognize a girl that was murdered in 2012 in Connecticut. Her name is Alex Kogut. She was murdered by her boyfriend in her dorm room. Okay. He is serving 25 years to life in prison. But her family has a Facebook page called Remembering Alex Kogut, and they've asked that people paint their pinkies purple, and it's wonderful that males are painting their pinkies purple and leaving it on, so it raises awareness when other people say, hey, dude, why do you have your pinky painted purple?
Right.
That you can say it's because of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I take a stand against domestic violence. So we are getting into the schools. I did a table on Monday at the MCC Community College, and we're going next next week to Central Middle School, West Middle School. We've got West Liberty, the high school.
Wow.
They're doing one at Trinity. So around town and all the local schools, L&M. So we can go in and talk to the high school and junior high kids about domestic violence. So I have brought the flyer from the Prevent Violence Coalition and kind of the story about Alex Kogut. And I have brought my purple polish to paint Tony and Sam's pinkies.
Wait, does it matter which pinky? I think I'm going to go with my left.
You can do one pinky or you can do both pinkies.
Oh.
It's your choice.
I'll do both.
You do both.
Yeah, I got these big
You do both, I'll do both.
I got these big sausage fingers, and you'll definitely notice them. So, and I don't know how to do this, so I'm gonna,
I will be. More
I'm
than
not trying
happy
to.
do
Don't
it.
act like you've never painted your toe.
I'm not trying to be sexist, but I feel like Judy would probably do a better job than Sam or I would do, because I really haven't done this before. I've had a fingernail or two painted, but this is
I'm a
the
little
first time.
shaky too, but
you'll be fine.
we'll get it here.
So this is important. I hope that you'll consider. What about this on Saturday? Are we going to be painting any pinkies? Is that an option?
I can make sure to have polish there if any of
Nice.
the band members or anybody coming would like to have their pinky painted.
Yeah.
And I will have some of the flyers there.
That's a great idea. Second annual River City Throwdown at the Pearl City Station in downtown Muscatine, where the Mississippi River spilled their banks a little bit, but it's not going to affect this event. So please keep that in mind. I know that people had questions about that. We're going to be totally... Oh, that's it? Oh, that's easy.
That's it, Tony.
Look at that.
It wasn't piercing you.
I'm styling. All right, so please come out and support this event. You've heard us talk about it for a while. It's here. It's all to help out the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter that really needs it. And whether it's a monetary donation or supplies, they will take and appreciate what you can give. And then in the spring, we'll get ready for the big fundraisers that we took part in last year. Judy, Sam, thanks for coming in. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Sam's getting his pinky painted right now, and it's all for a great cause, the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter. Judy, could you give out the crisis phone line one more time, 563...
263-8080.
And if you're not able to make it this Saturday, but you want to help out the domestic violence shelter, you can drop off donations at MCSA on Iowa Avenue. Just mark it for the domestic violence shelter.
That's right.
Okay, that's all you need to know, friends. Please help out October Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we hope to see you on Saturday starting at noon.
Free stuff right here.